But I think the reason probably why he did it that way is, this is my theory, and my theory alone. I don't know, this is what I think. I think he probably...
I know you gonna dig this.
Hey, wait, I got a new complaint.
What's going on, everybody? How you doing today? Here I am in Marina Del Rey, California, just around Venice Beach area, near the Los Angeles International Airport. And I'm doing a video about Kurt Cobain, something to do with his final days. I've done videos in Seattle. It's very loud. There's construction on a new hospital taking place right across the street, so I hope you can hear me. And it looks like they're building a nice building. Hard at work. It's tough work. It's hot out here. And so I've done videos about Kurt Cobain's final days in Seattle. And I've done a lot of videos of him in Olympia, his early part of his life, Aberdeen. Lots of videos about Kurt Cobain. This is about a specific 36 hours in his life. I hope you can hear me, because they are banging pretty loud. Kurt Cobain, when he was struggling with his addictions near the end of his life, he was admitted into Exodus Recovery Center and admitted himself. And it was right here. And there's a famous story of him escaping by scaling a wall. I'm going to show you that wall. I'm going to tell you that he didn't really escape. It's going to tell you a few stories about... His final days are documented, but there's also discrepancy, and some people saw him here, some people saw him there. Some of the dates you read in different texts about him and things like books, they have dates different, but it is known that he spent about 36 hours here famously and escaped by scaling the wall. Didn't exactly happen like that, but it was right here. So right across the street is the Cedars-Sinai Marina Del Rey Medical Center. That new building right there, didn't even notice in the past year that it was being built. I drive through here a lot, did not notice. There, you take a look here as we go across, because it's really close to where we are, is where it happened. So at the end of March 1994, Kurt and his bandmates in Nirvana, they played their last show in Germany. Voice given out due to laryngitis, so they cut the show short. And it's scheduled to resume on March 11th. The band members, Dave, Pat Smear, Chris Novoselic, and Kurt, they all went their separate ways. Kurt went to Rome, where he met up with Courtney Love and their daughter Frances, who joined them a few days later. So on March 4th, Courtney woke up to find Kurt unresponsive, having overdosed on champagne and Rohypnol. Nirvana's management would later claim that the overdose was accidental. Well, actually at the time they did, I believe. And then months later, Courtney told Rolling Stone that he took about 50 quote-unquote fucking pills and had written a suicide note in it. The tour was canceled. They went back to Seattle. March 25th, Courtney Love and about 9 other people, bandmates, management, and friends, they surprised Kurt Cobain with an intervention. He did not enjoy the intervention, to say the least. That's one thing. No, he was not happy. Apparently he went down to the basement after the intervention and rehearsed a bit with Pat Smear. That's one story I've heard. Courtney told Kurt that she made plans to begin a drug treatment program in Los Angeles the next day and told Kurt she would divorce him if he did not seek treatment. Apparently, his bandmates in Nirvana gave him a similar ultimatum and said, the band is done if you don't get help. Kurt was pretty messed up on heroin. So Courtney Love left for the airport. One by one, the others left as walking around the parking lot here as I get to the wall. I'm going to show you. For some of them, it was the last time they ever saw Kurt Cobain. He had a few interactions with several other friends and family members in the following few days. He called his grandparents, made plans to go fishing with his grandfather the following month. The day after his intervention, Kurt Cobain was visited by his mother and sister, and they left his house in tears, apparently, after seeing him strung out on heroin. Now, here's where I've read two different stories. March 29th, after another near-fatal overdose, Kurt agreed to let Chris, his bandmate, the bassist from Nirvana, take him to the airport, only for him to flee home after they got into a fist fight in the terminal. I've also read that didn't happen like that there was no fight. I don't know. The next day, he visited Dylan Carlson. If you follow my channel before, I've talked about his friend Dylan Carlson, and asked him for help in buying a gun. He told Dylan that the gun was for trespassers on his property, and Dylan believed that that's what it was for. But then he also told him he was leaving. So Dylan Carlson told Rolling Stone in June of '94 that he said it was kind of weird that he was buying the shotgun before he's leaving, but he offered to keep it until Kurt returned. But Kurt said no. He took the gun to his house, and then he headed to the airport. When he got to Gold Mountain, their management company, Gold Mountain, a member of Gold Mountain and Pat Smear, met him at the airport here in Los Angeles, which is just south of here, and took him to Exodus Recovery Center, which is located right here in the hospital and right behind that blue wall. That blue wall with the two palm trees. That is where Exodus Recovery Center used to be. I'm not sure what is behind that wall now, but that is the open area where patients would come and sit, relax, get some sun, be outside. You see these nice palm trees out there. That's what it's for. So Kurt was in there. The people at Exodus Recovery, they weren't told that the Rome incident had been a suicide attempt. He was treated just like a normal patient. I've also read fellow patients and visitors remember Kurt Cobain being very cooperative with counselors. He was twice visited by his daughter Frances with her nanny, and he was very happy with his daughter. Now, it's on his third day I've also read he only spent 36 hours, but also on his third day, which would make it about April 1st, at about 6 p.m., he made a phone call to Courtney Love, his last conversation he would ever have with her. He said, just remember, whatever happens, no matter what, I love you. An hour and a half later, so about 7:30 on April 1st, 1994, he went to the outdoor area and scaled a 6-foot brick wall while no one was looking. By the time Courtney Love found out Cobain had escaped, he'd already caught a red-eye flight back home. Now, this is the wall. It used to be a brick wall. We're going to go over and see if how close I can get to it. I can walk right up to it. Nobody seems to mind that I'm here. I believe that I'm not putting anything on blast because everything's changed here. But you can see some windows behind there. But this used to be a brick wall. And I'm not sure if this is not brick. I'm not sure if there's brick behind it. But this is where the wall was. Exactly right here. So he didn't actually escape. What he did was he scaled this wall. You can see there's cameras here and stuff. He scaled the wall and left. He could have walked out very easily the front door. He was self-admitted. It wasn't like he was being held against his will or anything like that. It wasn't like a prison or like some recoveries where you're forced to go in. But I think the reason probably why he did it that way is, this is my theory, and my theory alone. I don't know, this is what I think. I think he probably didn't want us to deal with going through the process of signing himself out and also having them try to convince him to stay. Probably thought it was a lot easier just to jump this wall, jump over, and leave. But that's it. This is where the wall used to be. I can't really get a good look. There's underneath, I can see that there's no wall here anymore. It's just this boarded wall they've put up. But this is exactly where it was. Recovery Center was right in there. Wow. This is what the building's going to look like when it's done. So I was using some old Google photos as a reference, and I was using that building, and there's another one that looks exactly like it to find that wall and the original photos that I found on Google of where the wall used to be. So you can't really see where it is on this, but you can see that building in the background. I'm just around the side now, quickly, but the wall used to be right there, right where it's replaced by the other cardboard wall. Now for this clip, I'm not quite sure why I have no audio. I have no clue. So as I'm editing this, I'm seeing my hand as you're seeing it. I'm pointing at the wall and I'm talking. I have no idea why there's no audio at all in this clip, but I know that I'd just been speaking to somebody who worked on the property, and they'd explained to me that it's all changed. Those used to be patient rooms after Exodus was there. Exodus Recovery Center was there. Then they became bigger patient rooms all along there, like where you see behind those white walls, and now it's office space. So I'll put a link below to where I was in Seattle, to the last days of Kurt Cobain, where I went all around and showed you the bar he was at, house, motel room I got to go inside. And even though I filmed that, I think that was 2019. I think it was around the 25th anniversary. Yeah, the 25th anniversary is when I filmed it, of his death. So it's, 5 years old now, but I was proud of that video, happy that I made it. Yeah, you can check that out for the rest of what happened to Kurt Cobain. I think we all know what happened. And 7 days later, his body was found April 8th, 9 a.m. by an electrician in at his Lake Washington house in Seattle. I love Kurt Cobain. I wouldn't have him tattooed on me if I didn't. I love Nirvana. I love the 90s music. I love that theme. And yeah, every time I can find something to do on Kurt Cobain, I do. And this is where that famous story took place, right here. Right behind me. Kurt Cobain was here. And we wish he was still here. Thanks for watching, everybody. Love you all. Peace out.
Hey, wait!